Good night. Good night. Welcome back to the Honesty Podcast with Word, of course, Word Justice, and Mimi in the building. How you feeling, me?
I am doing good. How are you feeling?
I'm trying to keep it going because you already know I gotta work tonight. So it's just like I'm trying to keep it on the go. And now it wants to start raining even harder. And the rain had calmed down, but you know how rain make you feel. So I'm kind of like dreading I gotta go in and all that weird shit. You already know.
Yeah. And it's that Sunday night. The kids gotta go to school tomorrow.
When the kids is going to school, I'm now coming in.
Hmm.
So you already know. But
Mother's
now
job is never done.
that shit is crazy. It just started raining out of nowhere, really, really heavy. Like
It's just one of those days. Like, I don't know how to explain it, where you just don't care to leave the house. You just want to chill.
not no funny. That's exactly how it feels. Like for me personally, that's exactly how it feels. It just feels like one of them days. You can have a cup of soup, you can have a cup of hot chocolate, watch a nice little movie, or watch some drama on TV. Listen, girl, they got the new Marriage in Huntsville. You know, it's been the episodes or whatever. So I started recently catching up on some of those episodes, but we'll talk about that on a whole nother time. But if somebody was to tell me Marcel is not cheating on Tanisha, girl, bye. But neither here or there. You already know.
He a sneaky little bitch, though.
He is
I will
sneaky.
say.
He is sneaky. He is too sneaky for my comfort.
He
He
knows how to
is
cross
too.
his T's and dot his I's.
What? First of all, it was a red flag when you turned around and told her, "Oh, I needed time for myself, so I needed to go to Africa." Listen, the Africa trip needed to be me, you, and the kids because we all need to experience Africa. What about that? You wanted to go to the as you call it. So you telling me I was wrong for going to the motherland? Nobody telling you wrong for going to the motherland, but what we are saying is I should have been a part of that experience and I would have been in Africa with the kids, and we would have went and you know what I'm saying, sightseed and went to markets
He
and
went to
did
go get
different
him a new
shit.
wife. He went to go get another wife. That's
What?
all.
Yeah, I'm like, and then pictures surface, and this is like from the seasons prior. And then the same thing is happening, but what's making it worse is because now she got her cousin on the show, and you know her and Melanie never really got
Hmm.
along from like maybe the third season. Her and Melanie started having issues. So now that the cousin is in the show, it seemed like Melody had a relationship with the cousin prior before even being on the show. So it was always the cousin and Tanisha, whatever. But it's so crazy that the cousin is just like the cousin. She upsets me because it's like you're trying to. It's like almost like you're trying too hard. By the end of the day, that's your cousin. You know what I mean? Y'all grew up together. Whatever
She's
situations that
Melody's
she
cousins or
disclosed,
Tanisha's cousin?
Tanisha's cousin, not Melanie. But the thing about it is, regardless to what, you're my family, and if I've disclosed certain things to you before this show even took place, that's not for you to now come and tell somebody else when you know me and this person has a difference of opinion on a lot of things and we do not too care for each other. So now you're giving daggers to somebody to throw at me, but yet you're supposed to be my family member. You know what I mean?
Okay. So slow it down for for us who hasn't watched this show. So basically, so you talking Melody's? Okay, Tanisha's cousin is on the show, but she's on Melody's side.
Yes.
Mm.
So what happened was when she came on the show because of her relations to her cousin, but she did it underhandedly because you know these shows is based on drama and
Hmm.
mess. So oh my God, her cousin, oh she probably got information
Yeah.
about Marceau and the inner workings of Marceau and Tanisha's relationship. However, that's very underhanded. It wasn't like it
Yeah.
was presented to you because they see you have a talent and they like the way you know what I mean, you address certain situations and they feel like you'll make the show spicy. It's because you're willing to disclose information about your family. Then they set it up in scenes to where Tanisha and They set it up to where Tanisha's cousin and Melody are at restaurants talking about Tanisha and her situation and whatever. So now you can't really get mad that Tanisha feels some type of way. Like I said, I feel like the cousin is just trying too hard to be in the spotlight, and it's just I don't too care for all of that. However, Tanisha acts like she cannot see certain things that Marcel does, and because you're in the public eye and me and you are husband and wife, it's just certain things that you should not say, it's certain things that you should not do. And I feel like he doesn't realize that that's what makes a lot of people question his actions and the things that he says and he does while he's on the show. It sometimes feels like she's chasing his attention and his love, and he's like, look, I'm doing this, that, and the third, and I'm providing financial assistance for you, and I'm making sure everything is the way it is and the money is rolling in, not realizing, like, listen, for her, I'm seeing from the way she speaks, it's like it's not about the money. It's about where our relationship is going and how our relationship is being tarnished as husband and wife. And you're not making it no better because everything is turned in to something very sarcastic. Or if I ask you about something, you beat around the bush with it, and then you try to turn the question I just asked you onto me. So it's just crazy. Like, you know? Hey, Puerto Rican 360, CaneTube TV, welcome, welcome, welcome. We just felt like we wanted to drop in for a moment and, you know what I mean, touch bases with the people. So we appreciate both of you guys pulling up on us. It's always a pleasure. So, yeah, me, just wanted to give you a quick, slight breakdown on that. I don't know how you feel about that because I know you probably seen the beginning of the show, but now, you know, new season. So things has definitely turned up.
And peace, Puerto Rican 360. Peace came to. Thank y'all. What I will say is, okay, I watched Married. What is this thing called? It's not Marriage to Medicine. What is it called?
um Marriage to Huntsville.
Okay, yeah, something, whatever it's called. I put Marriage to Huntsville. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Marriage
I
in
watched the
Huntsville. Yeah.
Okay, so I watched the beginning of it and I understand exactly what Melody's goal is, right? Because I felt like at the beginning of the show, they kind of spent a lot of time trying to put her husband's name out there, and I believe what's her husband name? It's like Marcel. The other one's Marcel, and the other one's like Marcel. What the fuck? What's her name?
So it's Marcel and Marcel. So we got the two brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Melody's husband, which I can't remember his name right now for the life of me. But yeah, you have Melody's husband, but his name ain't coming to me right now.
But they spent a lot of time trying to make her husband look like the cheater, right? And they spent a lot of time embarrassing Melody. They pointed the finger. They spent a lot of time just trying to highlight her life and her husband's shortcomings. So I think that's why old girl is getting her karma because she was
Yeah,
really trying to sit there from a perspective as if her husband was perfect. And
that's
even
what.
her husband himself was being shady and throwing extra comments in the mix only
Listen,
for him to be up to
he
these things.
I think he was a full blown narcissist. How hey Earth, how you doing? Welcome, Earth. Thank you for pulling up on us. Thank
Hey,
you.
Amina.
Thank you, Earth, for pulling up, most definitely. But I feel like he thought that he was gonna come on the show, and of course him and Melody was supposed to be the spotlight of the comeback group where they were developing properties, you know, in Huntsville, Alabama or whatnot, and allowing jobs to happen for the people that were in that community. However, the it was just so crazy how everything just took place all together. You know what I mean? Because they, like I said, they were supposed to be the face of everything, and he thought that he could have kept certain things under wraps. But then when shit hit the fan, that he was messing with another female by the name of Ariane Curry, that shit hit the fan. Then he came and he had a baby. But prior before that, she was finding out things while she was on the show, and I feel almost like she wanted to hold Tanisha and the other lady that's married to Marcel's brother, I feel like she felt like they knew information and they should have disclosed certain things because they were truly her husband's friends. And that's how they built their interaction with each other. It wasn't like those were her personal friends that she knew. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Like she acts like an airhead. Like, how do you not see the stuff that he's up to? But for me personally, it's just if Melody was good enough, if she sat back and she took her lashings, I mean, it's your turn. It's your turn. Like, never throw stones when you live in a glass house, especially when you know your relationship is just as fragile as the one that you're making fun of.
I think that the image that she wanted to paint was that everything was picture perfect and she's young and she's established and now, you know what I mean? This is the life that she created and she wants to be able to spread it. But I think that her head got a little bit too big for her body. And when I say that, I just feel like as you got on the show and you started making money and you were now able to put your establishments that you wanted out there as far as building up houses in the community and creating jobs, and then you have degrees in certain areas, you also have a class, you have a book out, you definitely took the platform and catapulted yourself in a different type of way. But however, you also got big headed along the way, and certain things between husband and wife and just in a relationship, even if you're going through a divorce, I think certain things shouldn't have to be put out there for others consumption. You know what I mean? I think certain things should be able to be private, but I feel like she was so hurt, and I can't even determine what her hurt looks like because everybody goes through situations and it could be damn near the same situations, but people handle it differently emotionally wise. So I do feel like with Melody, she realized like the picture perfect world that I'm trying to paint for the world to see is not really the truth that I stand on. And the truth that I stand on is that I'm unhappy, but she still could have went about it a different way. And like I said, they have children together. So I think most definitely is certain movements that she did while being on the show that I wasn't too keen with at all.
But I think that's like the lifestyle of a lot of Southern women, especially when they're dating men with money and power. Like a lot of Southern women show up and that's what they do. Their men cheat behind the scenes and they show up and they make sure that everything looks good aesthetically. And then I think maybe she didn't understand that this wasn't normal until she got on TV. And I'm not going to say that all people in the South do this, but it's very common. They kind of just let the man do his thing. And because he's making money and he's paying the bills in the household, they're just going to stay quiet, turn the other cheek. Okay. But it happens a lot.
I think for a long time, you know, women on a general deal with situations like that. And I do feel like she probably had that intuition that he was doing what he was doing for a very long time. But what made it more hurtful or emotionally wise, I'm just saying, I'm not sure. But for her to be on national TV, public TV, and then now everything is in the open. Now it's for people's consumption to judge, you know what I mean? And then the way he was just speaking to her at certain times, it was just like, listen, even with him, he needed to definitely, like, he comes off like a total narcissist. Like, he really needs to clean up his act because at the end of the day, he has daughters, and he should not do certain things and treat her certain ways based on the choices that he made. She didn't tell you to go lay down and cheat and do what you did, knowing that you guys stood before God, as you would say, and made the commitment between each other for sickness and health, death do us part type shit. So he definitely turned me off completely because he ultimately showed, like, damn, this is who you are. But for me, I understood that, guess what? She been knew this is
Mm.
who he was. But now it's just that it's out in the open. And so now other people can judge. You know what I mean? And
She
I'm
does not
sure
want to be
she got a lot
embarrassed.
of backlash.
You remember that scene when she went to go talk to his mother
Yes.
and how his mother, that lets me know, like, by how his mother responded, that let me know everything I needed to know.
And I
Like,
feel
this is
like
who he is.
the mother's response, and this is the thing about it, because you can tell the relationship between the mother and the father was not a healthy relationship, because even
Hmm.
when he got a chance to even talk to his father, he told his father, these are the memories that I have. If you were around, it was other females around, it was never the same female or whatever have you. His
Mm.
mother dealt with a lot of trauma from the father, and I feel like she got conditioned to the point that, yes, you love your child, but then you have to be able to sit and stand firm and let him know, listen, you're acting like a piece of shit. This is not who I want you to be. I wouldn't want you to sit there and put another woman through what you seen your father put me through. I would expect better from you and hold you accountable. I feel like she is an enabler when it comes down to a grown ass man with all he decided to lay down and make kids. He decided to lay down outside of his marriage. And that's another thing. It should be okay to tell a person, listen, I'm not happy anymore. And I don't want to be in this situation anymore. And you guys come to a decision to where you could separate from each other, and it's amicably, because it's too toxic when you guys are knowing you're unhappy, but you guys are making a front, or you're putting up false pretenses when you get
Hold
around
on, real quick,
family
real
and
quick.
all that shit. So,
Puerto Rican 360, Amina. The show that we're talking about is what's that show?
it's called Marriage in Huntsville.
It's called something else. Okay, hold on. It's something Huntsville. Marriage something Huntsville.
I just
Damn
said
it.
Marriage in Huntsville. That's what it's called. Marriage in Huntsville. And it's a show that was based around five couples that are entrepreneurs, and they are in the business of building. And so they will buy property and they will build on top of the property, whether it be multiple homes on a property or whether it'll be a complex. But those were based around these five couples that obviously they're taking you into the business endeavor, but for some reason when they take you into the business endeavor, it's really business because they get all in your business, all in your marriage. So that's why it's
Okay,
Marriage
it's
in
called Love
Huntsville.
and Marriage Huntsville. That's what it's called.
Right, I
Love
forgot the
and
love part.
Marriage Huntsville. Because I knew it was something. Okay, that Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's the name of the show. I'm
Yes.
sorry, y'all. We've been sitting here discussing it, and we haven't even dropped the title of the show. Love and Marriage Huntsville.
You know what's so
But
crazy? The reason why we ain't dropped the title of the show is because I just brought it up, and it was like we just automatically jumped right into it.
But
Listen,
y'all got seasons and seasons to catch up on. Like it's a bunch of seasons. But as far as
man.
his mother goes, like when she went to go have that conversation with his mom, I didn't just get the sense that okay, it let me know that yes, this is who he is, but it also let me know it gave me a feel for who the mom is and her understanding of men. It gave like, okay, this is kind of what tends to happen in the South. Don't get me wrong, like yes, everybody cheats, but that whole image of, okay, I need to make sure I show up and smile, make sure we keep the family together aesthetically while he's behind the scenes doing what he do. Melody Ben knew that. It was just once it got to a point where she was getting embarrassed, that's when she want to act like, okay, but technically they were sister wives. She knew about this woman, but when she went to go speak with his mom, and the mom was like, she just threw it off on like, that's men being men. It gave me the vibe of like, okay, not only was your son this way, your husband was this way, and your father was this way. This is all you know men to be, to where you don't even have any words of encouragement. And you got a young lady sitting in front of you that's 20 plus years younger than you, and you don't have any real advice for her while she's struggling in her marriage. The only thing you got is men will be men. That's all you have to throw it off on. And it was pretty sickening. It said finally.
But I'll be honest with you. I think that when it comes down to reality TV, yes, they may do things to probably emphasize certain things and exaggerate certain things, but for the most part, if you're watching something to almost receive, it's like almost a message in certain things you're watching, depending on how you're watching a show, even down to how we speak, right? So for me, I feel like a lot of times, like, it's women that are in marriages that have been in long-term marriages that may not be fully happy with their partner. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't love your partner. You may love your partner because you decided to make a communion with that person. So obviously, you love that person and you had levels, or you may still have levels of where you feel in love with that person. But it doesn't mean that you cannot be unhappy with maybe how that person behaviors are, or maybe certain actions that they take when they're probably using a bathroom. It could be the smallest thing as, listen, can you put the seat down when you use the bathroom? After you pee, put the seat down and make sure there's no urine around the toilet. It could be as something as small as that that can cause conflict in a relationship. You know what I mean? And that is definitely understandable. But when it's emphasized for the public to see, like you said, it becomes an embarrassment. So for me, when I look at a lot of these shows, it does kind of like, I look at it from a different aspect, and the messages that I understand about a lot of these shows me how these relationships, no matter how long you could be in a relationship, you, like I said, you could be married 20 years, you could be common law marriage, right? Because you could be with a nigga for 10 years and now you common law, you know what I mean? That's a marriage right there because of how the length of time you've been with that person. But then you begin to like learn that person, and it's a lot more Marcel's, just like it's a lot more Tanishas, and it's a lot more melodies out here. They just not in the front and forum, and they don't have the platform to expose what their lives look like. You know what I mean? But it's been going on for a long time. It's just that now we have reality TV, and like I said, they may exaggerate and put more emphasis in certain things, but for the most part, we can relate as women looking at some of these shows, and you have a significant other, or you going through trials and tribulations in your marriage, and it's like, oh damn, I can relate to what she's saying. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should I'm gonna start catching up on these episodes, and I'm thinking we should come back and start covering these episodes and also turning them into builds. I mean, what could go wrong? You got marriages, relationship advice. The only thing that could really come out of it is learning from their mistakes.
Nah, I think we could definitely do that. I'm actually gonna try to figure out. how I will be able to have what we call a show night. So if I can implement being able for us to start the season, like, so if we're gonna start from season one to catch our people up on it,
Mhm.
let's say we play the first episode where we watch it. It'll be like, they come in, we all watching it, and then the next day we elaborate on the things that we seen and how we felt about the episode and the person. And guess what? You don't gotta speak on the first episode. Maybe that person will wait until episode 5 to then put your opinion in there. But then we're able to give you a visual, and so that you're able to fully understand certain things that may be happening in the show. And like I said, it all depends on who you are and how you watch things. Some people watch things for entertainment, some people watch things for a message, and believe it or don't believe it. But I will tell anybody, everything in this world, through movies, through shows, whatever it may be, it holds a message inside of it. It's just about you being able to see it and unlocking that shit. So it's what you take from it, pretty much.
Honestly, it's like I've seen so many relationships, so many things. I'm still young, so I'm still learning for sure. But I do know, like, if two people, if y'all want to be together, y'all gonna work y'all asses off to make sure y'all stay together and make sure y'all do right by each other. And that's just that. No excuses, no none of that. Like, same way when you want that new pair of shoes or you want that new car, you gonna go to work. You want to dedicate everything you need to dedicate to it to make sure you get it. Yeah, I just it's the same thing. If two people don't want it the same, you're gonna constantly have these issues.
Yeah, and I think what's lost in hindsight is that, you know, in a relationship, you should never be in it and lose your individuality. And then it should always be a base where, in a relationship, that we are able to come to terms where we can speak to each other. Like, communication is a big part. I should always be able, as you being my counterpart, to come to you and tell you how I'm feeling, or how you may be making me feel, or if I'm having a bad day. Like, these are things that I think that in our culture is kind of lost. We don't take the time out on both sides to nurture each other. And yes, women are naturally nurturers. We are. But we have lost sight of it, because when you feel like the world is coming down on you and everything is on your plate, that aspect of being able to nurture, you can't fully do, because you're not even able to nurture yourself. You're just going. You know what I mean? So it's like you're like a vehicle driving with low fuel, and you're about to run out of gas, and as soon as you run out of gas, your car is about to cut off. Get what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of times it is so deep when it comes down to just a communication level with somebody that you may be in love with, or even if you're saying to that person, like, all right, I was in love with you, and we've been together for this amount of years, but now I know that I love you, and I feel like we have grown and gone our separate ways. And it not be volatile, and it not be disgusting, but just having that understanding that I love you so much, in a sense that I can let you go because I want you happy. And happiness is may not be with me, because we already went through our journey of happiness. Now it's time to go on to the next chapter of what my 10 or 20 years of life looks like.
But you see, that's genuine love right there. Nowadays, people don't have genuine love. They don't know what it is. They're trauma bonded. They're doing wild shit. They just want control. Because when you genuinely love somebody, you want to see them happy, regardless of if they're with you or with the next person. But nowadays, like, people move from such a place of self hate That it's like, oh hell, if you're not gonna be with me, you ain't gonna be with nobody. I'm going to destroy you. And I know because I've been through it myself. It's like, for me personally, you don't gotta be with me. I'm not gonna hold you hostage. Go live your life. But on the other end, it's, oh no, how dare you? You are not gonna go live your life. You are not gonna go be happy. If it's not with me, you will remember me one way or the other.
And it's like, and I hear what you're saying. And for me, when I think, because like I can also, I can understand from personal experience myself with certain situations in my life, right? And it was a question that I began to ask myself because I sit around a lot of people that's older than me also, and I would talk to them, and I'm a person like I would just speak on certain things to try to get more of an understanding of what another person perspective may be outside of what my situation looks like. And I came to a point of just like having conversations with certain older people to where I would ask myself, what is it that is making me attract certain people to me? You know what I mean? And when do I begin to realize that, guess what? You showed me one too many signs, and I'm not trying to stick by it anymore. And I feel like it becomes a battle because when you, as a woman, I'm speaking on a personal note for myself because I really can't speak for other women because we are all women, but we feel things all differently. That's what makes us just a combination of greatness, and it's filled with so much powerfulness once we get that understanding. But like for myself, like when I think about certain things and I ask myself certain questions, like what is it? It's a battle because I'm just genuinely who I am. When I love, and I can love very hard. Like when I'm in love with you, that's just what it is. I'm willing to go down the road with you and take it down the distance. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's to a fault to where I can't differentiate the two to say, well, listen, this is no longer no good for me. Like this is toxic for me because now I'm stretching out every bit and being within myself to try to continue to hold on, to make you happy, to go down this road with you, and all the things that you want me to do. Because as women, I feel like at times men assume that we are supposed to put on multiple hats. So you want me to now put on a hat of being your girlfriend or your wife, or you want me to put on the hat of being your psychiatrist or your doctor. You want me to put on the hat of being able to go out there and bring in the bread and butter, and that's considered the money or whatever finances that may have to be taken care of. You know what I mean? So now I got to make sure that I put on that working cap because now I got to go out there and work and get the money and make sure shit goes right. You know what I mean? So it's so when I'm speaking like this, for me it's so many levels to where you're in a battle, like I said, when you look at like all the things that you're putting out there for a person to want you to wear multiple hats, and then you're still not willing to accept to yourself like, I'm unhappy and this is not good for me no more. And guess what, it's time for me to walk away. And even if it means that you may want to feel like you want to threaten my life or whatever have you, I put everything in the universe hands. What will be will be. If you feel like you're going to form weapons against me that's going to prosper, then that will be your assumption. But once I know I'm in my truth and this is what it is, I don't feel like you have any control over that. But I think, like I said, when you are a woman and you're going through so many different emotions, and we are naturally nurturers, we cannot, like, the lines get blurred into the bullshit that we allow ourselves to accept, and not really realizing when it's just time to like let go. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing you could do. Like, I cannot be your mom. I cannot do certain things that you expect me to do or you want me to do because I'm me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's deep. It's deep for me. You know, you need to pay attention to the type of man you looking for. Agreed. Yeah, and you know that's very true. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, nobody comes with a T-shirt when they approach you and say, "Hey, how you doing, you beautiful girl?" You know what I mean? And then you read in the nigga T-shirt like, yeah, I ain't shit. I ain't got no job. I ain't trying to help you. I'm trying to sit on my ass. If you get pregnant, I'm gonna run away from you. Like, niggas don't come with that. Niggas come with a whole different facade. So now you gotta learn eventually who that person is, because now you have to enter into that relationship, as you won't know. You'll just assume the person is who they are based on what the first appearance look like.
And then we all know people bring their, their representatives. They never show up and say, "Hey, this is the real me. I'm a bum. I plan to use you. I don't plan to contribute anything." Who's gonna come out and say that?
Exactly. So it's like you definitely, it's a needle in a haystack. That's what it is. Needle in a haystack. Like, that's how. But like I said, I've came to a point within my life that I will say, like, I'm still on a journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm still writing down the chapter I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? I still have things that I want to make sure that I accomplish. But now I have a better understanding of being able to, like, okay, if word, if you can't take care of yourself, word, you can't help nobody else, word. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take care of you first, word. And that's what I'm understanding. Forget the words, because words are so powerful that even the words that we speak manifest some of the negative shit that happens in our world. And we don't even realize that shit because we've been so conditioned to a lot of shit. But that's for a whole nother topic. I think me probably stepped away. But yeah, guys, I definitely wanted to come in.
Okay, but yeah, y'all, I'm back. What time is it? We have to clock in and do our little time. We're doing this 30-day challenge where we get on here, we go live, even if we don't have nothing to talk about, we find something to talk about. So, you know, thank y'all for supporting us. And we're just doing it on the backup channel again, just to get ourselves used to getting back in the swing of things. And I think by New Year's, we'll be back on Millennial Queens, but we'll be ping ponging both. Okay. We will not stop the Odyssey, but I think by the new year, we'll be ready to jump back on Millennial Queens. So thank you, Amina. Thank you, Puerto Rican 360. Thank you, Kane Tube. Our team stays solid, okay? Like, I love my team, okay? So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for always being supportive, regardless of if we on here or not on here. Y'all just supportive. So we got a real rock solid team. We love y'all. Oh hey, Rob Money. What's up? What's up? We
I'm sorry about that. I had to run away real quick. Sleepy Lounge Talk. Me, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. But yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like this is going to be the spot where definitely we want anybody from males to females to be able to come and have a comfortable area just to be able to express how you feel. And sometimes you do need just a space where you can talk about being in your relationship and maybe the things that making you unhappy and get input from somebody else that can implement something that can help your relationship because maybe they've been through something similar, and so they could be able to walk you through certain things and tell you like, oh, maybe you should do this or try this when it comes down to your relationships. But for the most part, you know, as women we have changed the dynamics in so many different ways. Some is like 50-50, some is good and some is not. And I think that it stems from a long line of just going through a lot of emotional pain based on decisions and just loving on a person and assuming that that person is going to feel or do what you're going to do for them, they're going to do for you. So, yeah. But like I said, that's for a whole different topic. But we definitely will tap into that Marriage to Huntsville. I definitely feel like if they tune into the episodes and we start from season one, I think it'll definitely be something that they would enjoy. And like I said, it's all about your perception on how you look at things.
Definitely. And when we get into those topics, Rob, I definitely want you to be around. We need a male perspective. Um, we definitely want to welcome the male perspective. Like, y'all know how we feel as women, but we want to switch it up a bit. But we did do our time. We did do our time. And once we're back on here consistently, what we don't want to do is go back over on Millennial Queens and then start disappointing people if we're not consistent. We're trying to make sure we're a lot more consistent. This is more so the channel to get away from the nonsense in the sector. But we'll be back over there. hmm We'll be back. Hopefully by New Year's.
So you guys already know it's me, Word, back in the building all day long. Mimi, like she said, Millennial Queens, back in the building. We definitely want to continue the path of just being able to continue to give you guys content and just have an open space. We will be dropping links for panels and all that good stuff. Just, continue to leave your comments and let us know what you guys would like to talk about, what you're looking forward to. And like that'll keep us consistent and coming through and trying to always keep it going with the content. And also, we work out our own situations behind the scenes and all that good stuff. So I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for pulling up on Theodesty Podcast. It's always a pleasure when I see people that I know that love and support us. And no matter what time we choose to come on or what year we're going to choose to come back, I see that we definitely have a lot of great love and support. And I can't ask for nothing more. Just having
Right.
7 people, 6 people, 5 people, 3 people makes me feel like I have 300 in the building, 400 in the building. So I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you guys from Amina aka The Earth, Puerto Rican 360, King 2 TV, Sleepy Lounge, G Dubs, hashtag Life of Pearl. Like, I appreciate all of you guys when you guys have the time to step in. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, you know what I'm saying? And we just want to be able to grow organically. And I hope you guys continue to stay along the ride with us. And like I said, we down for the critiques. So leave your critiques inside the comments because we read comments. So know that we're always willing to always keep you guys in mind because we can't grow without you guys. That's the main thing. But from organic part of just everybody feeling good about the growth that you see us doing and you guys come along with us because our day ones we don't never forget about. And like I said, yeah, I appreciate you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I gotta head out to work, so I'm about to be off this. And it's always a pleasure when me and Mimi link up. You know what I'm saying? We always doing our endeavors. Mimi, I'm gonna leave you with the last words. And yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, thank y'all. We definitely will be back tomorrow. We are sticking true to this 30-day challenge, and we have a Queens link up coming. New Year's, watch out for us. Although we've been linked up, it just wasn't, this will be new to the people, not new to us. But y'all will see us, and that'll be the great way to kick off the new year. Jump right into Millennial Queens, full gas, no breaks. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Rob Money, Puerto Rican 360, Amina. And I'm telling you, Kane too, it's the same ones. Okay. That's why I say I love my team. Y'all don't go nowhere. Just to say, whatever day or whatever year we decide to come on, y'all still gonna pop out. Like we still support y'all. So we love y'all and we're coming back. We done disappointing y'all. So thank y'all so much. We out.
Peace.